What's up, YouTube fam? Pretty obvious what we're going to be doing today. I got this 180 thermostat from High Horse Racing, and I'm going to put it right here. Let's get on with it. My particular application, and if you have a catch can hanging in the same fashion, you're going to have to get the catch can out of the way to get to this second bolt. Get my head out of the way. Right there. If you can see it, bam, there we go, right here. So there's two bolts. I've got metric wrenches to the 13 millimeter, and this right here is just a little dealio I have to kind of close this line off because it's higher than this, and I'm trying to save as much fluid as possible. This right here is pretty high. It's actually almost higher than what the level of the heads are, because you can see freeze plugs down here on the head. So this right here is pretty high up, and then you can see where it goes into the radiator is way down there. So this is the high spot in the coolant system. You want to make sure you leave your cap on, and we're going to do it pretty quick. I'll go ahead and get this thing right here out of the way, and then we'll start y'all back up on the video. Alright, so what I got here, I got metric sockets. Like I said, this is a 13 millimeter socket on an extension here. And I'm gonna go ahead and break the bottom one loose. And I've set up, I've got two towels here to explain kind of what's going on. I've removed the catch can out of the way. I decided to leave the bracket, that way I don't have to worry about repositioning it so much, and it's not really that much in my way. And I've got a towel stuffed down here, and then I've got this towel kind of on top. And I'm gonna try to soak up as much of the coolant that's gonna come out as I can. There shouldn't be a whole lot of coolant come out. Like I said, this right here is a uppermost portion, and it's above the coolant pump and everything. So, our water pump, I'm sorry. Let's see, get this one loosened up. Now, while I'm doing this, I'll talk about the thermostat that I got, the 180 degree thermostat. Now these cars' thermostat opens at I think it's 203. Some people say 205, but I think it says 203 on the thermostat. So thermostat opens, and we'll go ahead and take this bottom one all the way out here. Because of the way this gasket is around this thermostat here, you can take the bottom one all the way out once you've loosened the top, and no coolant will come out right yet, as long as you hadn't loosened the top way up. And I do that so I don't lose this bottom bolt. All right, so 180 degree thermostat, the one that's in here, 203 to 205. And this, I know if I don't, get a tune and adjust my fans, if I was to sit in traffic or something like that, it would still go up to about 205 and 210, something around in there. But I don't really sit in traffic that much, and I don't sit in idle very long, so I'm not too worried about it. As long as you're driving down the road, this 180 degree thermostat will keep your coolant temps from 185 to 195 without even adjusting your fan speed. So it's, in my opinion, it still does a really good job at lowering temps. The factory computer, even without a tune, will make fine adjustments to the fuel curve and to the timing curve of the engine based off of cylinder head temperature and coolant temperature. So you're still going to get the benefit out of this. So the thing that I'm afraid of, some people have gotten a check engine light, I think for the thermostat, or the car's taking too long to warm up, or something like that, not getting operating temperature. If that happens, I've actually found on another site 192 degree thermostat, which would give me a little bit lower, temperatures, but hopefully not low enough to do a check engine light. Now, this is a really nice thermostat. It was a little cheaper version. I think it was around 30 bucks when most are double that price, and it's from High Horse Racing. It's got the little bypass wiggler valve in there to keep coolant flowing and to help it, burp the system. And I always like to try to put those towards the top. So when I install this, I'm going to install it with that. It's close to being the top as I can get it. And price is why I went to High Horse. They were the cheapest, and they had free shipping. So I figure if this right here gives me a check engine light or something like that, I can always get the $192, and it's going to wind up costing me about 80 bucks with shipping it all from I think it's Modern Muscle Extreme has them. They're the only people that I've seen that has them. Get this top bolt out, and I'm going to apply pressure here, and I already got a little bit of coolant that's coming out. I can see it on my towel down here. Now you are going to lose some coolant here. If you're really worried, if you're up in the northern states, if you're above Tennessee, I would say you need to buy some coolant and put coolant back, because it gets pretty cold up there. But we're here in Alabama, so coolant's good to what? Like, just guessing, negative 20 degrees or something. So it does not get anywhere close to that cold here. So if I have to put a quart of water in this thing, or 2 quarts of water in this thing, with the rest of the system full on coolant, I'm not really that afraid. Is it recommended to do that? No. Do I feel like it's going to hurt anything? Hell no. I've done it on plenty of cars. My 2016 Scat had a 180 thermostat in it from another company. I think I had a Mishimoto in that one, but did the same thing here. I've done it to several S550 Mustangs, several S197 Mustangs. Just, it has never been an issue. Now, if you lose a large amount, if let's say you mess up and you take your cap off and you lose, your whole reservoir, then you need to probably go buy some coolant. Just suck it up and go pay that expensive price. But I'm gonna try to do this as quick as possible, lose less coolant, and I've got all these towels to try to catch it. So when I take this off, I'm gonna take it off and lift it up just a little, just turn it up the way I don't keep, pouring coolant out. All right, so got me handy dandy pliers here to break this factory one loose. All right, get this one in. The wiggler valve is facing up, just like I want it to be. Factory one here, down where I need it. Start putting my bolts in. And it sounds like I do have a little bit on the garage floor, but I did catch a bunch with this towel setup that I have here. Be careful with this bottom bolt, guys, especially if you don't have these towels. If you decide that you want to put a pan under your car and just catch whatever came and you're not worried about the towels and stuff like that, this bottom bolt, it's easy to get it lost in the underpinning. Then you have to take all the underpinning out from underneath the front of the car here to try to find it, and hope it didn't fall into one of the holes or something in the frame or something like that, a radiator shroud or wherever. There's no telling where to go. And you just want to, I take this with my extension here and just hand tighten them. For right now, this right here is the factory thermostat. You see it looks almost just like the high horse racing one. It's got the wiggler. This is made out of rubber, and on the high horse one it's made out of metal. I don't really know what the difference is. We'll see. Right here it says 203. Let's see if y'all can see that. 203 right there on the factory thermostat. So I've seen in some places people say it's 205, but 203 is what it says on the thermostat itself. A ratchet here. I like to start with the bottom one. Just get it kind of snug. It's kind of snug. So people, I know someone's gonna ask me, what's the torque rating on these? Well, the torque rating on them is hand tight. I don't know. I really didn't look it up. I never have looked it up for stuff like this. I was a ASC certified technician for a number of years. I can tell you that if you're not good at feeling the tightness on bolts, don't use a big giant ratchet like the one that I have here. If you're not good, don't use that. That's almost guaranteed. Look at this long ratchet. This is real easy to strip out aluminum or break a bolt off. So if you're, you know, a novice, you want to use something like this, a smaller ratchet, okay? And with these 13mm bolts, you could even use a 1/4" ratchet and probably still apply enough torque with certain 1/4" ratchets to still be able to strip the thread. So hand tight, I mean, you want it tight. It's got a rubber seal on it. It don't have to put no silicone or nothing on this, and it's just snug, just hand tight. I really don't know, you know, any other way to describe it. So I get my towels here. It's really not as bad as what I thought it was. Should wipe all this up. I like to go down here, wipe this up. Let's see, looks like I got a little on just one section of the belt. Maybe that was just where the towel was resting. I did hear some waste onto the floor of my garage. So what I'm gonna do is, you know, once I've stopped the video and all, when I crank it up and get it circulating, I'm gonna pull it out to out of the garage, run some water over all this stuff without it running, run some water over all these little stuffs through here. Engine's still nice and cool. I don't have to worry about cracking nothing, and I won't smell coolant for 2 weeks. So that's what I'm gonna do with that. I'm gonna get this right here on. I'm gonna get it crunk up. And people ask about burping the system with these. All you really have to do is fill the reservoir back up to the top of the coal fill mark. And once you fill the reservoir back up to the top of the coal fill mark, crank it up and drive it somewhere. Crank it up, drive it somewhere, go through the RPMs a little bit, and then when you park the car and let it sit overnight and cool off, it'll suck the coolant out, and it pretty much burps itself. Like I said, I did my 16, and the Mustangs are the same way. They pretty much burp themselves. So no real worries there. Anyhow, I'm gonna get this on, put the catch can back on there, and rinse it off, back it out. That's it. Replacing a thermostat is real easy on these things. I mean, it is right here, 2 bolts. I use metric tools, so 13mm. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching another video. I've actually, right now on the way, I've got a Hellcat airbox conversion kit that I bought. It's the lower box and the tube that goes up here next to the headlight. So I'll be having to remove my front bumper to put that on. So just, hey, subscribe if you want to see it. I'm going to do one video on bumper removal for the car and do like a complete, thorough, in-depth bumper removal process for this car. It's really not that difficult. And then I'll do a separate video after that one. I'll post it up of replacing this air box and this, putting the tube in. I'm going to have to take the headlight loose to put the tube in. And then there's a plastic panel that goes here. So there'll be 2 videos, one on bumper removal and one on the Hellcat airbox conversion. So anyway, that's what's in store. Box should be here next week, probably next weekend. You'll see the first videos drop on that stuff, and there's more to come, more planned. Stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching Project 392.